Alright, welcome to my channel and to this video. Take a look at this downspout. This gutter's got a footprint almost in it. I'm pretty sure it was one of my kids playing in the yard. So we're going to see what we can do to straighten this out and fix this. Now you do have the option of removing this thing. You can see it there's some little nuts right there, and you can take that off to take it into your workshop. But I'm going to try to fix it right here, as simple as possible, in the yard. Now take a look at the end. It's smushed here as well a little bit, and it's a little malleable, so you can kind of squeeze it back into shape. This particular downspout's about 3 inches by 5 inches, something like that. And so that's the first thing I'm going to do, is just try to squeeze, and I need to put the camera down and use 2 hands to try to get it formed back into shape a little bit. Now it's going to be easier to squeeze toward the end versus like right here where that footprint is. So we're going to tackle that next. Again, 2 hands to try to squeeze it back into shape as much as possible. Now keep in mind, I'm not a professional, I'm not a metal worker at all, I'm just a DIY homeowner, right? So I'm using common tools around the house to try to fix this as best as possible. So one tool that I found that works well is this pipe clamp here, and the way it works is that you kind of unscrew the end and kind of place it around the downspout. So it's like a clamp. It's got 2 sides, and as you screw that metal piece, here's a better look here, you're gonna screw that metal piece clockwise, and it'll tighten it up, so your hands don't have to do all that work, right? You can actually use the power of the clamp to try to mold that back into place. And so the process here for me was to kind of find where that footprint was, that crushed part of the downspout, and put that pipe clamp on there and kind of move it up, you know, tighten it and try to get it formed back into, you know, the original square shaped, or right angles, if you will, as best as possible, right? And then you kind of move it, slide it up, and try to do a little bit north of the footprint or south of the footprint, right? So it's not just one specific place you're going to be compressing. It'll be kind of the couple of inches maybe around the area that is, you know, broken and you want to fix and form back to its original state. So that is kind of what I'm doing here. Just unscrewing it, repositioning it, and sliding it, trying to squeeze that that footprint back out. Now, if it's depending on how far it or depressed it is, so how crushed it actually is, right? The top of the downspout may be actually pushing down so far it's actually touching the bottom of the downspout. In that case, I'll show you kind of what to do. You can kind of look through here and see it's a lot better than what it originally was. You can rewind the video to that original shot, looking up in there. You can tell it's definitely coming out quite a bit. So what I'm going to do next is take the tape measure out and just kind of get an idea of how deep that crushed part is. And it's about 24, I don't know, 2 feet deep up in there. And I'm going to find something about 3 inches. So you saw from top to bottom there, 3 inches of the downspout. I found this old piece of plywood here that's going to serve that, meet those dimensions pretty well. And I'm going to slide it up like this, about 24 inches up. And what I'm going to do here, there's a better angle, is I'm going to twist it, because I know that if it's pointed up, it's about 3 inches, right? So I'm trying to use that piece of wood to kind of, and you're going to want to brace the very base of it if it's still attached, the downspout's still attached, because you don't want it to twist it off. It does put a lot of tension where it joins up with the vertical part of the downspout on the house. And I'm just going to twist that piece of wood, and you should probably be wearing gloves, and you should too. There might be some splinters if you're using some old plywood, right? And I'm going to twist that kind of clockwise, and the idea here is that you push it and press it. And it does take a little bit of force, but it does push it back up into its mostly original shape. Again, it's not 100%, but it looks a lot better than it did, and I'm happy with that. So hopefully this has helped you out. Thanks, and don't forget to subscribe.